neighbour just fucking trips his fucking doorstep. He hits his hand. He hits his head off the arch hitch. He's
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way. Today, we're going to be going through our latest Manchester United news, including Casemiro deal getting close, Antony new bidding for Antony supposedly, and all the other Manchester United news as well, as you'd expect. Before we get stuck into the video, hope you're all doing well. Like, comment, hit that subscribe button. Let us know your thoughts on the news. New little graphics here, as you can see. You know, with the stream starting soon and all that, and of course we have a lot of news. Last night was very interesting, you know, with the news coming out about you know, the Glazers woman at the club's not for sale. Then we have a person who's Manchester United fan and really wants to buy Manchester United. And I mean, listen, I really think that, you know, like this Sir Jim Ratcliffe, like he hopefully can. I hope he can buy the club. I really hope he can. I hope he can get us back, get the club back, because he is a Manchester United fan. I seen something today. If he takes over, he'll be like the third richest man in the Premier League. I think it was City. Was it City, Newcastle. I'm not sure. It was like City was obviously up there. I'm not sure who else was up there, or whether it was Newcastle or was Liverpool. So yeah, it is interesting. Obviously, we didn't go live last night when the news came out because I didn't know what to think about it. I didn't know whether was true, or you would have gotten told like the news last week about Michael Knighton wanting to buy the club, and next of all, that's not true. It is true, but he doesn't want to buy it. Just literally crazy stuff. But I mean, listen, it's really what you expect, isn't it? I hope that the protest on Monday. I hope a lot of fans turn up and do the protests and not go into the match. Obviously, I will be watching the match, but I'll be making sure to support the people who are at Old Trafford and doing the protest there, because big up to everyone that obviously will be doing the protest. It definitely will be an interesting one. So yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what was going on there. I kept coming up on my screen saying my laptop was dying. So yeah, we're back. So yeah, I mean, if you are going to do the protest next week, let us know. I mean, fair play to everyone that's going to the protest at Old Trafford on Monday. I think hopefully it can be a good thing, and hopefully something good can come over and we can finally get our club back, because at the moment we're not really we're not at the top yet. We're better than this. We know we are, but we look at we have as our owners as well. We can't really can't really question anything. But yeah, it definitely is going to be an interesting few weeks ahead. I'm hoping this protest does work. I mean, we're trying to find something. It's important to push the agenda of Glazers out. Well done to all. Yeah, exactly. Well done to the people who are going to turn up to the protests. I wish I could be there myself and turn up to the protest, but I'll be making sure to, when we're doing the watch along, I'll be making sure to do something to connect with the fans at Old Trafford that will be doing the protest. I'll be trying something, whether it's a background of green and gold to the club is sold. I'm going to make sure to support the people who are at Old Trafford and are going to push going to push the Glazers out. And it could, boycotting a big game against Liverpool could be it. If you were going to I know it's a big game. A lot of fans would be interested in watching it, but if you really want the Glazers out, this is what you have to do. As I said, I won't be going to Old Trafford because I don't live in England, but I'll be still doing my all to get this Glazers out of the club, whether it's, I don't know, whether we'll have the scoreline and the Glazers out as well. So it is going to be an interesting one. I said it on yesterday's stream. This is literally what you're going to see. The scoreline, watch along, and Glazers out, and something in the background to support all the Manchester United fans that are doing. I think every United fan around the world will be doing as much as they can to try and push these clowns out, because as long as they're here, we're not going to be successful anytime soon. I know a lot of our rival fans are saying stop moaning about the Glazers, but well, we don't want to, but they're really not giving us any choice. But they've taken money out of the club, they're spending it on other shit. It's just not good what the Glazers are doing to this club. 17 years of pain. Let's hope that 17 years ends soon. Let's hope Jim Ratcliffe can be a Lord Savior. He's a Manchester United fan as well, and he has a lot of money, so he'll definitely come in handy. But let's hope we're not replacing the Glazers with the Glazers. Rahil says the protest is good. Let's see what happens. If there are more than 50% fans there, then the protest has failed in my eyes. I'm hoping for a 50% or more boycott in the stadium. Let's see. Well, as much as it's a big game and you'd like the fans to be in the stadium and supporting the players, I think we have to do something. We have to kind of, we have to give up on one thing instead of give up and going to watch the match or give up on the protest. Now, if I had my way, I'd protest, I'd boycott the game just to get the Glazers out. I just wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. I just want to get the Glazers out, and I would boycott the game, and I'd protest with the rest of the Man United fans as well. It's the right thing to do, and well done to the people who are actually going to protest the game. People who are going in to watch the match, well, it just goes to show you don't want the Glazers out, or else you just don't care. But as I said, if I had my way, I would definitely protest, and I would do all I can, and I still am. While I'm here over the screen, going to try and protest against these clowns who are the Glazers. So it's going to be an interesting protest, but we'll have to see what happens. But we're going to get into Casemiro. Literally been going around, this news has been going around all day. I wasn't planning on going live today, but typical United, giving us a lot of news to talk about. So yeah, this is definitely going to be the big one. So here we go. Let me just check. Yeah, I mean, by the way, do we all want Casemiro at Manchester United? Are we all in agreement? I would I mean, I don't know. A lot of fans don't want Casemiro, but it's either Casemiro or else we stick with Scott McTominay. It's a short-term loss for a long-term gain. If you are a fan that has the best interest in your heart and you truly want the club to progress, then you should not go, nor should you buy merchandise. Well, that's it. I mean, I obviously did buy the jersey when I was there, but I'll probably never buy a jersey at Old Trafford again. It was only a once-off opportunity. So, you kind of can't blame me for doing that. But, I mean, that's probably the only thing I've actually ever bought that will go into the Glazers' back pocket. But I don't know. I don't think... Yeah, I still do want the Glazers out, But I would be a bit weird if you're protesting and next of all, you find someone going in to buy the new jersey. Like, we're doing this protest and you're going in to buy this and that. That's one thing. I mean, if there was a way we could get the... Listen, we don't want... Rahil, I agree with you what you said there. It's a short-term loss for a long-term gain. And I do definitely agree with that. I mean, luckily enough, a lot of fan channels around the world, the Glazers don't earn anything from what I do. The Glazers don't earn what anyone does. We earn, and it's funny, the fans care more about the club than the owners. We love Man United. We hate the way the club's been treated. We're literally a business. We're literally around like a business, and we're not. We're a club. We're one of the top clubs in the world, and we're being ran into the ground. If you have bought a jersey or any merchandise, it's my kind request to please give it back. And if you ask for a refund, if possible, wear fake jerseys. If you have to buy, please do these minor changes. Well, that's it. Well, as I said, it's a one-off thing, buying a jersey at Old Trafford. Like most of the jerseys I have, I probably bought in, I don't know, a sports shop. So I wouldn't go to a sports shop where I live. So it wouldn't affect the Glazers. That's actually the once-off thing I'll ever do. So I don't expect that to happen again. When you go to Old Trafford, you have to do it. I did it. But will it ever happen again? No. And will I ever buy anything again? Next time I'll probably buy something that will go into someone's hand is when the Glazers leave. And I bought more stuff since then, but I've bought it off. I was nowhere near a Man United site that was going to the Glazers. It wasn't going there to the Glazers. So yeah, I still do want the Glazers out. I mean, if I had my way, I'd go over on protests for the match next week. But unfortunately, I can't. Listen, if someone said, "Listen, do you want to come over to protest?" I would. But listen, if you are watching and you are going to do the protest, let us know, because it'd be definitely an interesting one to see. But listen, I can't think of any Man United fan around the world that would want the Glazers out. That would want the Glazers in. Sorry. At the end of the day, the Glazers don't care about no protest. The only way to hurt them is by creating monetary loss, and all the above things I mentioned will cause that. So this is the first step. Well, that's it. First step. Yeah. I mean, if you have bought a jersey at Old Trafford in the past, well done, obviously. But I think ever since the fans are like, yeah, I'm not buying another jersey at Old Trafford. Like, every jersey I've had is probably bought in a local sports shop, nothing to do with Old Trafford. That's probably the only time I've actually ever bought something there. But listen, we still want the Glazers out, But if, like, look at the season ticket holders, that would be another good thing if you really wanted the Glazers out. Don't buy a season ticket. That would definitely affect them. I mean, I think it was AC Milan did it. They didn't go to games. They boycotted the games. Didn't buy anything. No season tickets bought. No tickets bought. And they now look at them now. They got their owners out. So it definitely will be an interesting one to see. But listen, at the end of the day, we want these Glazers out. I mean, we'll probably talk about it more on Monday's watch along when we play Liverpool. But listen, I don't know. It will definitely be an interesting one, but it's for the greater good. And as Rahil said, this protest, it's a short-term loss for a long-term gain. So you have to look in the long run, not the short run. It's all going well. But going to move on to Casemiro here. I know we could talk about the Glazers all day, but we will talk about them more into depth probably next Monday, or maybe before that. Let's hope something happens. If something good happens before then. So Casemiro to Man United is very hot. He has already told his teammates he is thinking about leaving, and he is inclined to accept the offer. Man United are closing in on the signing of Casemiro and are confident of completing the deal for the Real Madrid midfielder in the next few days. The fee for Casemiro is expected to be close to £60 million after initially offering £50 million. So, I mean, Casemiro, yeah, I mean, a lot of fans don't really want Casemiro. They're kind of like, why are we spending this much money on a 30-year-old striker? Why are we paying this much money for this and that? Well, we kind of have to agree that it's either we watch McTominay for the rest of the season or Casemiro. Listen, I would have loved Frankie de Jong, but unfortunately he didn't want to come to the club. Europa League football isn't good for him. I mean, as Ten Hag said, we won't be in Europa League for long. I hope he sticks by his word, but at the moment we're not even going to reach Conference League. So it's either, listen, I would definitely prefer to have Casemiro more over McTominay or Fred. I don't think having that, our midfield is still weak. I know we have Bruno, Eriksson that have started the last two games, but you look at McTominay, like, I mean, he's not good. Like, I tell you what, it'd be good to have Casemiro starter and James Garner as the backup and sell McTominay. He's never going to be top class, McTominay. Roy Keane has said it. A lot of fans have said it. I'm going to say McTominay will never win. McTominay will never, ever. As long as McTominay plays for United, Man United they're going to weaken the midfield. And like Liverpool probably do the same thing, and every other club does it. They run at our midfield because it's weak. If you're at our midfield, you're going to win. McTominay's tall and bulky, right? But McTominay just hasn't. He hasn't got the experience. He's not top class. He came through the youth. I'd sell him. What did Rahil say? Move back to the Glazers quick enough. The only problem was that the foreign fans who paid good money to watch the game, and also diehard supporters who will support the players no matter what. That's it. We all love the club. I mean, especially people that put money in to buy MUTV. I wouldn't even bother buying that either. I never had, never will. So yeah, I'll never ever buy anything that's going to get into the Glazers' hands again. I've only did it once, a long time ago. Never going to do it again. So yeah, but Casemiro, I mean, I'm going to talk to the chat here. Do we want Casemiro? Are we interested? do we fancy having him at the club? The fee is expected to be about £60 million. So are we going to get that? Or I know he's 30 years of age, but it's either that or else it's either we pay 60 million for Casemiro, or else we play McTominay, he's crap. Let's be honest here. I mean, James Garner's better than Scott McTominay, and that's saying a lot. So what are we doing? Are we looking at Casemiro, 60 million? Or I know it takes a big chunk of our deal. I know a lot of fans would have, as I said, I would have liked Frankie de Jong, but that deal's not going to happen, unfortunately. Will it happen? I don't know. Personally, I can't really see it happening anytime soon. Thing is about Casemiro, he's won a lot of Champions Leagues. He's won a lot of trophies. He has good experience. We do need a decent experienced midfielder, defensive midfielder. I think a while ago we were interested in N'Golo Kante, who's around his 30s as well, and we were all like, "Oh, let's get N'Golo Kante." Now it's people are kind of like, "Oh wait, hold on, I don't want N'Golo Kante. I want N'Golo Kante." Then we got Frankie de Jong distracted us, and we were like, "Yeah, I want to get Frankie de Jong." We thought we were going to get somewhere with Frankie de Jong. Unfortunately, we didn't. Now we thought we were getting Rabiot. Luckily enough, that deal broke down. Now we're like, okay, Casemiro. Listen, Casemiro, it's a panic buy because the de Jong deal kind of went pear-shaped. Rabiot deal, broke down. Casemiro is our last option. I don't think Ten Hag had him in mind. I never had him in mind, to be honest with you. But he's our only option at the moment. He really is our only option at the moment. So, I mean, I would definitely prefer Casemiro rather than watching Scott McTominay for the rest of the season. So, like, I don't know. Like, he seems to be interested in coming to us. The one thing about it is he wants to double his salary. So we're just going to read through a bit more here. Man United have offered Casemiro a salary that does not reach double of what he earns now at Real Madrid, but it's not far away from it, and a contract till 2027. So I think Real Madrid did extend his contract a while ago, and that's probably one reason why he's worth 60 million. If he had a year or two left on his contract, he'd be looking at maybe 30 million, 35, maybe 40. But yeah, Real Madrid know that Casemiro feels like he's approaching the end of a cycle at Real Madrid, but Casemiro was not sure about putting an end to it. He's analysing his move to Manchester United as well. Obviously, a lot of things have changed since then. I'm just talking about news that happened earlier on today. And Casemiro was inclined to accept the proposal from Manchester United as well. So he would become one of Manchester United's top earners if he decided to join. And Real Madrid would not stand in Casemiro's way if he decided to accept Manchester United's offer. So I mean, yeah, like Real Madrid, they don't want to sell him, but if Casemiro wants to leave, they'll be more than happy to let him leave. It's the player's decision. You don't want to keep a player that wants to move elsewhere. In fairness, Real Madrid do have some quality players. I've always said I'd like Casemiro or Vinicius Jr. at the club. We're getting Casemiro. I know he's 30 years of age, but is it for the greater good? Is Casemiro is it for the greater good? Do we like? That's why I want to ask you. Like, do you want Casemiro, or would you prefer to move on to someone else? Would you rather prefer to move on and be like, well, I don't want Casemiro. Can we try and sign de Jong before the transfer window ends? Like, there's not long to go left of this transfer window, and we're still here. We've only signed 3 players, and I'm going to say it: Malacia, Sandro Martinez, and Christian Eriksen. Eriksen obviously was a free agent, but was near to being a free agent anyway. So it is worrying times, and I think Casemiro really is a desperate signing. Like, Ten Hag had de Jong in his mind. He had de Jong in his mind ever since he came to the club. Fortunately, that deal seems to be going out the window. Rahil says, if it's demanding above 250k, I would say no. Also, the deal has to be three years, and cost should be maxed up to 35 million. I feel maybe more with add-ons, but 35 max in principle. The players good. Really is a good player. but he did extend his contract as well, so that's one reason why he's worth 60 million or more. So I mean, yeah, 250k, if that, that's enough as it is, but he wants. I'm not sure whether he's doubling it or Manchester United want to double it. Let me just look back here. Yeah, so I don't know, like, whether it's Man United, but like, are we looking at McTominay for an extra season? Like, I listen, if Casemiro was worth 30 million, I'd be like, bargain. That's a bargain quality. But look what he's won as well. You know what I mean? Like, I would prefer him over Scott McTominay. 60 million does kind of turn me off a bit. It does. I thought, the money we were close to paying for De Jong was a bit much, but I don't know. Is it something that it literally, desperate times call for desperate measures, and I feel like Casemiro is another desperate signing. It's a decent signing all the same, but it is a desperate signing because you think, like, as I said, Ten Hag did not have Casemiro in his mind. It was Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong was always going to be in Ten Hag's mind, but he kind of said in a nice way that he doesn't want to come to the club. He said, not in a nice way, he's kind of slated us as well. So that's one reason why I don't want that. That's one reason why I'm not really into getting Frankie de Jong. I would have liked him, but after what he said, and he's young and he's demanding a bit too much as well. If Real Madrid are asking for 60 mil, that is ridiculous. I would go nowhere near that player. I would buy someone else who is more deserving of 60 mil at the end of the day. Never do desperate deals. Well, I feel like this is another desperate signing. You know what I mean? Listen, will it be a good signing? Will it prove us wrong? I hope, but I don't know. Like, are we really? Like, I like Casemiro. I've said I've always liked him, but for 60 mil, he's 30 years of age. I'm not sure. Listen, I'll take him. I'll happily take him over Scott McTominay. Listen, obviously, I didn't want Rabiot because, you can kind of see me point why I didn't want Rabiot. I had a good point there. But now, where we see, listen, I think we are going to get Casemiro. I mean, when it came out yesterday that we were going to get Casemiro, I kind of thought, no, I don't think so. Now, things are looking good, and it seems like we maybe will get Casemiro, and it is a desperate signing. We did desperate signings in the past. Rabiot, listen, it's either, and again, Rabiot or Casemiro. Casemiro was top class compared to Rabiot. He's top class compared to Rabiot and Scott McTominay and even Fred. And I would prefer to throw Casemiro in there. He'd be decent, but for 60 mil as well, and they're going to double his normal wage. It is going to be big, and he'd be still one of the top earners. He'd be one of the top earners. If he would become Manchester United's top earners if he decided to join as well. Rahul says desperate deals never work out in the long term. Example: Cavani, Pellistri, Ahmad is a pure gamble. And even if you are doing a desperate deal, make a deal that is reasonable for both parties. Well, that's it. Make a deal that's nice and reasonable as well. Because we can't look into desperate signings anymore. We have in the past, and as you said there, McTominay, the likes of Cavani was decent all the time. He had a good year. Obviously, when Ronaldo came in, he kind of didn't get as much game time. Pellistri, I mean, I've seen him in pre-season. Haven't seen much of him. Ahmad, we spent like 40 million on him. Haven't seen him. He only played like 2 or 3 games since then. He went on loan to Rangers last season. Pellistri went on loan as well. Cavani, but he's gone now. He left on a free agent. So it is really weird. It is desperate. But I hope this deal works out. Champions League or the Premier League is a lot tougher than the league. It's a lot tougher. I know, if you want to make yourself feel happy, you can throw Champions League in there, but you can't. You can't. What they come up against: Chelsea, City, Liverpool. Well, he did pretty decent then. To be fair to him, he did. Not gonna lie. But we can't look into this signing and be like, oh, we're on to something good here. I don't know how many desperate deals to Liverpool, Man City make. It is rare. It's because they have a plan and execute the plan properly. The groundwork to do the groundwork to these deals are set way before they start that window. Yeah, that's another thing. The City and Liverpool have a good negotiation team. Our negotiation team is crap. Listen, maybe Casemiro is worth around 30 million or whatever. But because it's United, they're like, you know what? We know how to we know we're going to rip these off and ask them for 60 million, and they're going to double the salary as well. Listen, do you know what they're doing? We did it before. We've signed Lisandro Martinez for around 60 million. Did I think he was worth that much? No, to be brutally honest with you. But there you have it. We have him, 5'9" defender. He was. I know we can say he was decent in the Eredivisie, but the Eredivisie is a lot different to the to the Premier League. So I hope that's one thing I would have allowed De Jong as well wasn't proven in the Premier League. Casemiro wasn't. Varane, well, he's not. Still haven't seen having much of Rafael Varane to decide what I'd like to do with him. I just hope we get to see him on Monday against Liverpool. But it is another desperate deal. I hate to say it, he is. Casemiro is a top class player. So is Frankie De Jong, but I mean, he's 30 years of age, and if you're looking at this, I'm like, well, maybe just go back to Frankie De Jong and see who we can get for him. It is tough to know what'll happen with this deal. It really, really is. But it'll be an interesting one to see. On decision, obviously, he did say earlier on that the decision will be either made today or tomorrow. But where today is, well, listen, it's I think with transfer windows, doesn't matter how late it is in the day, it can happen at any time. But it is an interesting to see. I mean, are we all interested in him? I mean, I know Rahul wouldn't really be a big fan of him because of what we're asking, what Real Madrid are asking, and what we're interested in paying. United are incompetent on all fronts. It just is a hopeless situation. The chance to sign the lad from Monaco from negotiations was there in the summer, but we snubbed him, and our arrogance get us there. I think that was it was Paul something. I think it was not Paul Lintz, because not a lot of people are thinking Paul Lintz. No, it was Paul something. I think it was. Yeah, he would have been good. He was actually good friends with Ralph Rangnick, but obviously Ralph Rangnick went. Yeah, the man from Monaco said, no, I don't want to come. And yeah, I'm just going to get Paul Mitchell is what his name was, and he would have been decent. He would have improved us a lot. I think we could have had a lot of players in, but who's our negotiation team now? Who is it? Our negotiation team is shit. Let's be honest here. You look at Liverpool's negotiation man and City's. Brilliant. Obviously, Nunez, right? Listen, I know we can all call him a big flop, right? Not saying he isn't. He just goes to show he does have a temper, so he could, maybe, look. Well, I'm glad he's not there next week, because if he was and he scored against us, you just never hear the end of it. But our negotiation team is probably the worst negotiation team in the Premier League. It has to be said. Truth has to be said, and we're still here where we are. And we're paying 60 million for Casemiro, and we could have had Antony as well from Ajax earlier on. We could have been a totally better transfer window, totally different transfer window if Ralph Rangnick was still here, Paul Mitchell was still here, and Ten Hag would have gotten more of the backing. And listen, if the Glazers left as well, that's just a totally different conversation there. Rahul says it was Paul Mitchell. Imagine if Ralph, Paul Mitchell, and Ten Hag were working together. Now we wouldn't have been in this mess at the end of the day. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If we had Paul Mitchell in, Ralph Rangnick, and Ten Hag would have gotten the backing. Because let's be honest, the Glazers haven't backed them, and this is why we want the Glazers out. This is why we wanted them out for a while, because they haven't backed any of our managers since then. So you have to look into this as well. I'm not sure whether this is probably been our worst transfer window. We signed 3 players, and let's be real here, they haven't really gotten much game time. Lisandro Martinez, he's gotten 2 games in the Premier League so far. He's not proven. We paid 50-60 mil for him. To be honest with you, I know it's still early days, but I just hope he's not, our Man United flop signing. Because luckily enough, the main focus for flops is on the likes of Haaland, Nunez, Raheem Sterling. Sterling's proven in the Premier League, so top class players that are new is Sterling, Nunez, and Haaland. You have a comment there from B. Casemiro as a B, 60 mil is nothing for a player of his caliber. Madrid will probably still be the one getting a sale in the end. Well, that's it, man. I hope. I think. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking. I'm surprised he even wants to come to us. To be honest with you, I am surprised because we don't have Champions League football. But I was saying something there earlier on that he wants to have a new challenge. So that's what he wants. Just more news here as well. Coming out. Let me just check now if it's good news. Please God, be good news because we cannot do. I do think 60 mil isn't bad. I just a lot of fans are really concerned that we've gotten ripped off in the past and they just don't want that to happen again. But I do want Casemiro. I do. Listen, as I said, it's either that or McTominay, and I'd rather spend 60 mil. So just seeing there, Sky Sports News said Casemiro is considering his options given he needs game time ahead of the World Cup and has been tempted by Man United's proposal. Real Madrid have stressed the final decision is Casemiro's to make. Real Madrid are open to the sale of Casemiro to Man United in a potential deal worth in excess of £60 million. Talks are ongoing between the two clubs, with United receiving enough encouragement to give them the belief that a deal is possible. So I think because obviously Real Madrid signed Tchouaméni, Real Madrid have a decent midfield. Luka Modric, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde, Toni Kroos, and then if you want to throw Casemiro in there as well, which hopefully is a United player soon. He wants game time. He's Brazilian. He wants game time. Boho Yep says, what about a striker? Well, yeah, we have a striker that we have to look into as well. Supposedly we just gonna talk a bit about Antony because the main focus is on Manchester Casemiro. So Manchester United will have to fork out 67.5 million to sign Antony from Ajax. He's a right winger. We also do need a striker, Bohoyap, so I'll agree with you on that one. But we have to kind of look into to depth because Antony is worth £67.5 million. He's 21, 22 years of age. He's a decent right winger. I would like him. We're short options in the attacking roles these days with Ronaldo. Don't know what's happening with Ronaldo. Rashford, we thought he would have had a decent start. Still a slow start for Rashford. Let's hope he can, the game's coming. He can find his feet and actually play well. Alanga, well, listen, he's decent, but I think he'd need a loan. Last season he had a good little patch of the season, but you're not going to rely on him. Sancho's decent, isn't he? But again, it's still taking him a while to find his feet as well, and he's been here a year now. So yeah, it is desperate times. But listen, Antony ain't the desperate signing. I can tell you that Antony is not a desperate signing. It's a good signing, £67.5 million. You have Casemiro that we look to be getting for 60 mil, and I hope God knows what the add-ons are. But it definitely is an interesting one. But listen, like Antony as well would be a good shout as well. I wouldn't call him a flop signing though. I wouldn't call Antony a flop signing. I wouldn't. I'd call him a good signing. I mean, is 67.5 million? Is he worth that? I don't know. Is he worth 67.5 million? I don't know. Like I thought we could have negotiated that. I thought even negotiated to 40 million, 50 million pounds to see what we can get from him. It definitely will be an interesting one to see what happens with that as well. Look, we're in the 18th of August now. We went through June. I don't think we signed any player in June. And no, July, obviously, you got the likes that we kind of did most business there with Malacia, Lisandro Martinez, and Ericsson. They came in then. And then August, 18 days into August, the transfer window was coming to an end. Seen something today, like Nottingham Forest signed like 15 players, so they're doing good business. Newly promoted side as well. Rahil says, go and get Paradise. I mean, Paradise is good, but I would prefer Casemiro over Paradise, to be honest with you. So we have 13, 14 days to go off this transfer window, and we've only signed 3 players. We can do better than this, but as Rahul said, if we had Paul Mitchell and Ralph Rangnick, we and then Ten Hag, then they would have been all working together. We could have had De Jong, we could have had De Jong in, we could have had a goalie, a striker, a winger. We could have had a lot of players in, but unfortunately, that wasn't to be. And now we're still here. The transfer window is really over. It's desperate times, because if you look around, look at Man City, they literally conquer the Premier League, right? They did it for 2 or 3 seasons now. They've conquered there, and they're still strengthening their side, getting Haaland, and they got Calvin Phillips as well, and they sold Raheem Sterling. So Rahil says get Icardi. Icardi, well, he is decent, but I think his good days are over. I be honest with you, I'd be looking at Jonathan David. Jonathan David from Lille. He'd be a good shot. I'd like him. He's good. He's tall. He's fast. He's strong. He's a young player. He's good for Lille as well. So why are we not getting Jonathan David? Icardi is class, but he kind of has his little moans as well. So you just have to be careful. I'm just looking out for Man United, right? I mean, we were close to getting what's his face last week, Arnautovic, and luckily enough that deal broke down. Thank God. So Man United just have to be careful on what they do here. I mean, I'm not sure what a lot of fans would want Icardi or Paredes. He both play for PSG, I think. So Jonathan David, good show. I'd like Jonathan David. I think he'd be a decent show. Who else? Antony would be a good one. Casemiro, as someone said in the comments, 60 mil is nothing for a player of his caliber. I mean, he did win 3 or 4 Champions Leagues, maybe more. Could be wrong. Klazic is not a bad show. Yeah, he's good. 6'7". I think he plays for Stuttgart as well. But we could have got Benjamin Sesko. I suppose he wanted 60 mil for Sesko when he went to RB. He's gone to RB Leipzig. He went to RB Leipzig for cheap enough. So I don't know. Do you know? That's what I'm saying about Casemiro. He could be worth less, but do you know how to push Man United? Do you know? Listen, do you know? We got Pogba back for a lot. Didn't think he was worth that, but how much we got him for? We've gotten a lot of players at this club for a lot of money, and they haven't been worth it. You know what I mean? We signed Cavani. You don't pay 60 mil for a 31-year-old. Well, that's it. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You don't pay 60 million for a player that's in his 30s. You don't. That's what I'm saying. Real Madrid. Do you know what our negotiation team was like? So, you know what? Let's mess with these and get 6. Let's ask over 60 mil when he's only worth 30, 40 million. So, do you know? Do you think Pogba was worth the money we got him for? Do you think Cavani? Do you think Lisandro Martinez was worth what we got him for? I don't think so. Kyle Lacey says get Icardi. Well, a lot of fans seem to be interested. I mean, to be honest with you, you probably will have to be our only choice. Rahil also says I would get Icardi. So I mean, a lot of people saying they like Icardi. A lot of people saying 60 mil for Casemiro is nothing. But how much is Icardi? Is he still ongoing his contract with PSG, or is he still? I'm hoping, Jesus Christ, I'm hoping they don't turn around and say, yeah, 60 mil for Icardi. Then you'll just know. Oh yeah, these are having the crack with us. You know what I mean? The strikers also we need. Strikers also we need. If you watch him, you will know he's the perfect striker. Well, that's it. I haven't watched much of him, so I haven't watched. I can only tell you what I want. Joseph says buy players. Well, that'd be a good one, yeah. That's the main thing we want, isn't it? Buy players, good players, don't get ripped off. That's one thing that we'd want. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think a lot of fans would, anyways. Buy players is definitely a good show. I won't argue with you on that one. I definitely won't. But yeah, it is. It's going to be a tough time. It is going to be a tough time. By the way, if you're sitting if you're watching, hit that subscribe button as well. We have a watch along on Monday for the Liverpool game. I would also look into John McGinn. Yeah, he's good. Aston Villa. Listen, I've said it last season as well, and I'll say it here. I would like John McGinn. He is decent. He's quick. Yeah, I know. The thing is, about him, he's also Premier League proven. But how much is he worth? Is he worth cheaper than is he cheaper than Casemiro? Thing is, I just think as Casemiro has those trophies, he has the Champions League, so the league is I think is it the Copa del Rey trophy as well. They're looking into what trophies. It literally shows your medals, many medals you have, Bill, that you are going to put you up for that price. Get a decent CDM force as well. Yeah, we have to get a decent CDM. Is Casemiro the man? Is he what we need? Can we see the deal happening? It's a big question. You don't know what I can't speak for. I can only speak for some United fans. I can't speak for all. This is what we're here for. We speak. I give my opinion. You give your opinion. But listen. I don't know. I don't know what's up with me. Me yoke here. Sorry for a sec. Hold on. Hold on a sec. I don't know what's going on here. We're having a bit of weird issues here. Don't know how long that's been going for. Hold on a sec. We'll just do this. How long has this been going on for? I don't know why this is happening. This is happening at the worst time possible. Well, this is what happens, isn't it? So, sorry, just one sec. Why, when everything's going well, this has to happen? Typical, isn't it? Typical. Yeah, so we're all good now. Sorry about that. I am sorry about that. I do apologise about that. What did Rahil say? Ten Hag has to be smart. Yeah, definitely, he has to be smart. Listen, Ten Hag is a smart man. Ten Hag is a smart man. Well, he's just not getting the backing he wants to. In fairness to him, he's not getting the backing. You have the glazers. The fans want the protests. Get him out of the club. It's crazy times that on United so far, and that is the big problem. You know what I mean? It really is the big problem at this club. We don't know what to do as fans. All we can do is sit back and protest. So that's the main thing. We have to sit back and protest and see what happens. If McTominay plays on Sunday, I'm done, says Rahil. Well, I think a lot of fans would agree with you on that one, Rahil. Yeah, I definitely would. I think if he does play on Sunday, not Sunday, Monday. If you do, that's the thing. If you do, that's for some reason I actually can see him play on Monday. Reason behind that is because we even if you do sign Casemiro or we sign a decent CDM that's worth the money, we won't have them before Monday. Because you think that if a deal gets done tomorrow, you're looking at that deal. Like, say for example, Casemiro deal is done tonight or tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Friday. Then you think he'll travel in Saturday, medical done Sunday, then train. You'd be looking at him for the next match after the Liverpool game. So that's why I can see McTominay start on Sunday. Because, well, as I said, because he literally is our only man at the club. Well, James Garner would be a good one, but that's a big risk, throwing James Garner into a big game against Liverpool. It's a big risk in itself. It really is a big risk throwing James Garner in. That's why I can't see Scott McTominay start, even if we do sign a top class, a good player. Like, it doesn't matter what player we sign. It doesn't matter what position it is. I can still see us sign. I can still see McTominay start on Sunday for that one reason only. It's a shame, I know, but that's one reason why I can see us, play McTominay on Monday. Because we won't have any. If you do sign players, then if you don't sign players between now and the end of the week, we still won't have them for the game on Monday against Liverpool. But it is going to be an interesting one. That's why we want the Glazers out of the club, Reds. This is why we're here. This is why we want them out. You know what I mean? We want the Glazers out for the greater good. You know what I mean? But listen, by the way, if anyone's in the chat, because we have a lot of people in the chat now, which is very good. I really like this stuff. This has been good stuff. Make sure to like and hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't already. If you're going to are you protesting next Monday for the Liverpool game? Are you going there? And if not, if you can't make it, or unfortunately, or you don't live in England, I don't live in England, but I'm going to do my best. So we're doing the watch along. You're going to see something nice and decent there. If you're not going, what are you going to try and do to get Man United back to a good club again? What are you going to do to get the Glazers out? If you can't attend, what are you going to do to try and help the fans, or feel like you're part of the protest at Old Trafford? Because if I had my way, I'd go over to England and protest, but unfortunately I'm not. So if someone asked me, I'd snatch it off their hands. But listen, it is a tough time in it to be a Manchester United fan. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. It is a tough time. You know, we want the best for this club. The Glazers seem to not care. Do you know what I mean? Rahul says, Ten Hag has to take responsibility. Yeah, he has to take responsibility for some things. I think he said in a few press conferences now, I think he said after the Brighton game and Brentford game, he is taking responsibility. A big shout out to the hate as well that came out after the Brentford game and said he cost the team the 3 points. At a basic level, boycott merchandise. That's one thing I will do. I've started doing that. I have bought one jersey at Old Trafford, but I haven't bought any merchandise that will go into the Glazers' hands since then. Basically, don't buy don't do like that subscription to MUTV. Don't do that subscription to MUTV. You might as well just get prepared for the Glazers to be at the club. So don't buy MUTV. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, don't buy MU. Don't do that subscription to the MUTV if it's for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 12 months, 6 months. Don't do that, because then the Glazers will be like, lovely, that's more money going into our back pocket. Let's spend it on shit. And then you're looking into what else is there? There's merchandise. Don't buy season tickets. Don't buy season tickets. Don't buy season tickets. Just please don't buy season tickets. If you're a season ticket holder, smash it up and put it away and don't buy it again. And don't buy tickets. AC Milan did it and they got their owners out. They boycotted games, didn't buy merchandise. They didn't buy anything that could obviously be a good thing for the owners. What about CR7? Actually, I have something quick about that. Let me just double check. Please hurry up. Yeah, I will actually update you on that as well. I have a bit of news about CR7 as well. Just a small bit, because most of the news about that was on the other day. If you check back, was it on Monday or Tuesday show? We had a lot about Ronaldo then. Okay, so let me just check. Yeah, here we go. Little bit of news about Cristiano Ronaldo here, and I have actually other bit of news as well. It just most of today has been about the Glazers, because Jim Ratcliffe yesterday and all that stuff. So this is from David Ornstein, pretty decent journalist, definitely tier 1, as we know. It's not impossible that Cristiano Ronaldo will be allowed to leave before August 31st, the August 31st deadline, but only if Man United receive a proposal that suits all parties, and Christian Pulisic is another incoming being pursued. So that's it. It's not possible Ronaldo will be allowed to leave before the August 31st, the 31st of August deadline, but only if Man United receive a proposal that suits all parties. Well, then that'll be it. And Christian Pulisic is also another player that was supposedly interested in, but I'm not sure what Chelsea are doing with that as well. So yeah, it is interesting to find out what's going to happen to Ronaldo. That's another bad thing. It's a sad thing that Ronnie wants to leave. But listen, what can you do? You don't have to force the player to stay if he could ruin the morale in the dressing room. Rahul says Maguire, Lindelof, McTominay, Jones, Rashford. These are the players who should never wear the shirt again. Well, Lindelof, in fairness, he hasn't got enough game. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. He's not top class, but he's probably better than Harry Maguire. So, Maguire, get him out. I don't know why we even gave him the jersey to put on the first place. Tell you what jersey he should get. The babe that says bench or reserve. Well, Rashford, well, he's having a tough patch, but I wouldn't sell him just because he's having a tough patch. You know, McTominay, yes, but Jones, yeah. Lindelof is not good enough. No, he's not. You know, I'm not saying he is, but he's better than Harry Maguire. I think anyone's better than Harry Maguire. I think the people watching this now could defend and play better than slabhead Harry Maguire. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it is a tough one. It is a tough one to sort out, and it is a tough one to sort out as well. It's going to go through a bit more news as well. Crystal Palace are in talks with Man United over a deal for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. A fee of £10 million has been mentioned, but United could opt alone instead. I think 10 million for Wan-Bissaka, that's low. We signed him for like 50, 60 around that. And we're going to sell him for £10 million. It is, well, I wish we could sign a decent player for £10, but there's not many left. So, I mean, I would like Wan-Bissaka. I really listen. Wan-Bissaka had a, he is a good defensive. He's better than the lot in ways. Defending wise, the lot is a good attacking right back, but he's not a good defensive right back. Wan-Bissaka good defensive, all right, attacking, but he's not good. He's not good, is he? He is not good at all. Wan-Bissaka anymore. He is not good. Akinola says hello. Please, how is the Casemiro deal progressing? Well, I'm gonna go through it quick just for you. I don't usually, but just for you, right? You know, feel in a good humor. So you know what I mean. The Glazers could be going hopefully soon. So yeah. So let me just check, or if someone could just go through quickly in the chat while I'm doing it, while I'm looking for it. So Casemiro to United is very hot. He has already told his teammates he is thinking about leaving and he is inclined to accept the offer. Man United are closing in on the signing of Casemiro, and they're confident of completing the deal for the Real Madrid midfielder in the next few days. The fee for Casemiro is expected to be close to £60 million after initially offering £50 million. And Casemiro has told his teammates that he may now want to seek a new challenge and is interested in Man United's lucrative offer. So things are looking good from our, well, not for whose point of view, because I think it's 60 million for him is weird. Now, Real Madrid will not stand in Casemiro's way, then the decision will be either made today or tomorrow. And if he does join, he will be one of Man United's. He'll be like one of Man United's. He has to say, his wages will definitely. He'll be like one of the top. He'll be like paid. He'll be paid a lot anyway. So yeah, do you want to double his wage? So yeah. Get the dead without that. Yeah, get the dead whatever. I hold that's. I can't agree with you any more than that. We're also looking to sign a backup goalkeeper and potentially a right back, says David Ornstein. I seen something. Well, yesterday it was Jan Sommer. Then he's kind of said no, like the World Cup for the Switzerland. So he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to make his chances slim of being picked for the World Cup, because the World Cup is coming up in November. So it is interesting. We're becoming at the Chinese league where people can't come for money. Exactly. Exactly, Rahul. I agree with you on that one when I do. And then I've seen something today that we're looking to sign Asmir Begovic because he's experienced and with that hair. Why you want to look for a goalkeeper that can give the hair competition, not just make the hair's life easy. I mean, might as well just not sign anyone and throw Tom Heaton on the bench to compete with the hair. So yeah, and Erik ten Hag also wants to sign a new right back before the transfer window shuts as well. Well, we definitely need a right back if you're going to plan on selling on Wan-Bissaka, and even the lot. I can't trust him. Get some credibility in our club. That's it. Well, Rahul, gets it. I mean, will the Glazers out kind of help us? Get the Glazers out, get the negotiation team out, and Jesus, don't get ripped off again and sign when other clubs sign players like Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, them deals are done in like 24 hours, 48 hours. We sign a player, takes us nearly 5 days to get the deal, to just agree terms with the bloody player. So I'm surprised the Casemiro deal is going well, but I don't know what to believe anymore. More news. See, every time I'm thinking, right, I'll end it here. I can't because more news coming out as well. So let's go through this quick enough, right? I'm not sure whether I already read it out already. I don't think I did. Yeah, Man United moving closer to sign Casemiro for Real Madrid, and we'll then focus on it. Then we will then focus on a new forward and a backup keeper, plus a right back. If Wan-Bissaka rejoins Crystal Palace, and Marseille, our favourites, also signed Eric Boy as well. It's not like Fergie was getting ripped off, I know, man. Yeah, and Jordan Timber has also agreed to deal with Ajax, so I don't think we'll be getting him anytime soon as well. So yeah, Casemiro wants to join Manchester United, and Chris Wheeler said, actually, yeah, I read that ouches, and it remains to be seen whether the businessman's links to Selhurst Park club would breach English football's laws on team ownership, showed Apollo's attempts to strike a deal. Hold on. What? It remains to be seen whether the businessman's links to the Selhurst Park club would breach English football's laws on team ownership, should Apollo's attempts to strike a deal to buy shares in the Old Trafford club accelerate. So I think it's just about the owners again and Wan-Bissaka and all that bull. So yeah, it's interesting times for Manchester United. It really is. I mean, we should be the ones ripping people off. Well, are we ripping people off yet? No, we haven't ripped anyone off. We haven't ripped anyone off since. Well, I think you're at Fulham off, but we're going to call, giving a player, we're going to call selling a player for 10, 50 million a rip off. I mean, what are we, Jesus Christ, what we're looking into that. Us as a fan base, right? We want the best for this club. We do. We're hardly going to say, oh, we want us to play shit. We don't. Like, why? We want us to do some. So we want us to just not get ripped off again. We want us to be a good club. Is that so much to ask for? Buy players for cheap, and double it in sales. Well, that's it. But no, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with the Casemiro deal. We'll see what happens with the Casemiro deal. And we will definitely see what happens with the Casemiro deal. Just don't get too carried away is what I'd actually recommend you. I really would recommend you not to get carried away. Personally, I wouldn't recommend you to get carried away. By the way, if you haven't joined our Fantasy Premier League, there's the code SW0MCD. And yeah, if you're still here, hit that subscribe button and follow all our socials: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook as well. Look what Liverpool do with transfers. Yeah, they do. They're decent with their transfers and all that. Anyways, Rahul. So yeah, it is an interesting one to see what happens. But listen, if any big breaking news comes out between now and the end of today, we will go live and sort it out as quick as we can. But listen, it is going to be an interesting one. We have the Pro, so it's a busy few days ahead. Marseille are actually interested in Eric Boy. I don't know why we were getting. It is Marseille, isn't it? Marseille are interested in getting Eric Boy. It really is. Even though the Glazers are bad, Ten Hag can still avoid those mistakes. Well, that's it. But I don't know. It's just a desperate signing with everything that's going on, with transfers, with everything basically. With literally everything. You know what I mean? Everything is going crazy. I mean, a lot of fans, we have a Twitter account. That's where you mostly see all the latest news. A lot of people commenting, not happy with what way this club is being ran, with what's going on. Rahil says, I feel sad for Boy. I do. I honestly, I wouldn't sell Boy. I think Boy's better than Slabhead Harry Maguire. By the way, I call him Slabhead Harry Maguire. I don't like calling him Marseille. Marseille are interested in to sign. Actually, they're in discussions to sign Eric Boy, says Samuel Lacourse. So yeah, that's. I wouldn't personally. Rahil said it there. Boy should start. I would not sell Boy. Look what he did in pre-season. Well, I suppose a lot of people could say, well, look what Man United did in pre-season. We're playing well. Look at us now. But what Boy did in pre-season, he was decent in pre-season. Thing is, it's just because he's always injury prone. That's the bad thing about him. It's unfortunate. but that doesn't say that we're not going to actually do well. But boys should definitely start over probably anyone. Rayo says Boy and Martinez as centre back. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely start Boy. I wouldn't sell him. I wouldn't. I mean, well, I'll tell you what I do. Boy and Varane would be a decent one. Boy and Varane would be a decent one. But we all agree, Boy and Varane. I wouldn't sell Boy. I think that's stupid selling Eric Boy. I really, really think it's stupid selling Eric Boy. I do. I really think it is a stupid deal selling Eric Boy. Well, it's also stupid that we might be getting rid of that we supposedly put what's his face James Garner up for sale as well. John Morte supposedly made the decision as well. Get Morte out of the club and Arnold and everyone, because he can't run a club proper. He just can't. This club will not learn. They won't learn until the Glazers go. I know a lot of rival fans, and I've seen a lot of people. I've watched a lot of streams, right? And a lot of fans have been kind of like, a lot of rival fans, Liverpool, City, every fan, right? Obviously, except United fans, you can't be complaining. You know what I mean? The players have to perform, even though the Glazers are shit. True, right? The players have to, still perform, still put out a good shift. Well, they're not, because let's be real here. They're taking money out of the club, and we're looking at what are you looking at? You're looking at, Jesus Christ, you're looking at, like, it's just a mess, right? Like, it is. And like, yeah, the Glazers take money out of the club. They own Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's funny when you think of it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Glazers also own. They're winning trophies all the time. Then you look at Man United. We're not even getting near a final. Never mind it. We're not even getting near a semi-final. Never mind a final. They're taking money out of the club. They're not backing managers. They're not buying players. This is why we're playing shit. We still have deadwood at the club. Get rid of the deadwood. Like, what? Like, come on. Like, get rid of the deadwood. Like, what I do to wake up in the morning and see Glazers are gone. Jim Ratcliffe bought the club. Boom. How much would Slabhead go for? Do you know what? I don't know. 10 million less. He's shy. We spent what? 80 million on him? 80 million on Slabhead Harry Maguire. 80 million for Slabhead. Like, we paid 80 million, right, for Harry Maguire. 80. Like, come on. 80 million on that. Like, he plays great for England, but not. Supposedly, right, according to transfer market, he's worth £34.20 million. And his contract expires in 2025. 3 more years to go. Well, he's not even worth £20 million. I'd sell him for free. He's shite. He is rubbish. I hate him. Talk about being ripped off 80 million. Oh, yeah. The Glazers should go. Mortis should go. Arnold should go. And the negotiation teams should also fuck off as well. They're pissing me off. And Harry Maguire can follow them on McTominay and the rest that don't want to play for us as well. It's just crazy shit. It is crazy shit. But there's the code again. If even the screenshot on now and then join it. If you are Fantasy Premier League, the code is SW0MCD, no caps at all. And hit that subscribe button as well. Please hit that subscribe button and follow all our socials: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook. You'll see a lot of news going up there. Usually TikTok, you have a lot of interesting videos, some about the Glazers, some about me ranting to news and all that. So we're hoping we might actually get a rage next week when we play Liverpool. So yeah, Manchester United are now open to a loan for Eric Boy, and the deal would be a loan with an option to buy. I wouldn't even send him out on loan. I'd keep him and sell Slabhead. And significant progress has been made with Casemiro to Manchester United, with United believing they can finalise the deal. So yeah, it's all interesting to see what happens from here on in. But listen, it'll be interesting to see what can happen for the next while or so. It really, really will be interesting. But listen, what can you say? We're United fans. We have to stick true and true. And Jesus Christ, let's hope we can do something at the end of the day. Maguire deal is why I'm scared of Casemiro deal, of the Casemiro deal, and his value as well. Well, that's one thing why a lot of people are a bit worried about. But listen, what can you do? What can you do? But yeah, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as I said, follow all our socials. Much appreciated. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook. Type in It's the United Way and you'll get us there. It was going to be down there, but it's a bit weird. So basically, Twitter is It's the United Way. Instagram, It's the United Way 1. And YouTube, I heard It's the United Way. And Twitch, It's the United Way. Facebook, It's the United Way. Everything is It's the United Way. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. At the time, people were happy with the Maguire. Well, I wasn't. I never liked him, to be honest with you. But fairness, Casemiro has proved himself always a good player. Maguire has never proved himself always a good player. But thanks everyone for watching the show. Much appreciated. Like, comment, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and share it around to all your family and friends. As I said, if any news comes out between now and the end of the day, we will also go live. Hope if it's big news as well, not just boys going to Marseille for 10 million or whatever like that. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for help. Much appreciated, man. See you all there.